everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time seeing me, you're utmost welcome to my channel. My name is Marcos and this is a personal and self-development channel. So today I'm going to be summarizing the book we recently released, Rise from Within. I'm going to give you a rundown summary of the content that is in this book. So Rise from Within is a book that we've been working on it for years, and it comprises basically of 167 pages and 10 broad parts. So we do not want to put it as 10 chapters because under each part there are chapters. So the first part of this book is actually Rise from Within itself. So under Rise from Within, we have 10 chapters. We have the first chapter, the awakening, discovering your true self. The second chapter, which is the power of vision, because you have to see where you're going to before you can reach the particular destination. The third chapter, which is on or talking about the discipline of consistency. You have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent at everything you're doing. The fourth part, which is talking about building meaningful relationships, and up to 10 chapters under Rise from Within. Now, the second part in this book is on financial literacy, because we've come to realize that lots of people are not suffering because they are in short of finances or because they are not making that enough money. The issue is the financial knowledge is not there. They don't know what to do with what they are making, or they don't know how to channel the money they are making into the right sources, into the right channels, such that it can maybe last longer and they can utilize it for more than one or two things, in such a way that they will understand, they will have a mastery of where their money is leaking to. That is why we decided to include financial literacy here. Under financial literacy, you're going to understand concepts like assets and liabilities, like budgeting, like debt management, like financial planning, and retirement planning. So it is very, very important, because I think this is one of the most important concepts on the social real world now: financial education. You should get it, if not for anything but for financial education. Now, the third part in this book is the arithmetics of life, the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division that you were taught in basic school. It was not just for you to move from basic school to the elementary one. No, it was basic concepts of life that afterwards you are supposed to use them. How are you going to apply addition to your life? What are you going to add to your life? What are you going to subtract? What are you going to multiply? How are you going to divide what you have? How are you going to multiply what you have? And so on and so forth. So here we have actually we have broken it down in such a way that you can understand it, that the basic arithmetics is what is the driving force behind the successes, behind the what you are seeing out there. Because the people that are succeeding out there, they have studied a lot of social skills, which is this we're talking about: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That is my formula to life. What should I add to my life? What should I subtract? When? What do I have that I need to multiply? What should I divide to make others to make others around me happy, to fulfill my purpose? Now, the fourth part is the 10 basic questions every young man must answer. Because as a young man, you need to discover your purpose, you need to have a focus on where you're going to. So, and there are 10 questions that we have elaborated. We think that it is one of the most important questions that every young man should answer, that we have elaborated in this book. The question number one is: how selfless should I be as a young man? As I am still young right now, I have to be more selfish with my life and less selfless. As I grow older, I become more selfless and less selfish. Who should I let on my boss? Who should I get? Whose boss should I get on? About my marriage, about my career, about my philosophies in life. Those are the questions that every young man should consider asking himself. Now, if the seed part of this book is faith, vision, and spiritual alignment, because there is nothing you will do without the spiritual part of it. In the spirit, it is existing. In the physical, it is created. So, what we are living in the physical is something that is already existing in the spirit. So, how should we tap from the spirit to implement it or to make it come to reality in the physical? That is what faith, vision, and spiritual alignment is talking about. Now, the next chapter is the power of thinking big. Now, this particular chapter, the power of thinking big, I extracted it from one book I have, which is the magic of thinking big and the power of positive thinking by Roman Vincent Peale. So this is a very very powerful and important chapter, because some people are not limited because of their physical environment. Some people are not limited because of the resources they have. They are limited inside here. So once you start expanding your brain, once you start expanding your thinking, once you start thinking positively about yourself, once you start thinking positively about your future, your mind subconsciously understand that you are somebody who is striving for a better future. You are somebody who is striving for positivity, and the result your mind is giving you, the type of proposals, the type of ideas that will be coming to your mind in return are positive ideas that are going to drive you towards your goal. That is why we wrote down this particular chapter, the power of thinking big. Next chapter now is breaking mental prisons. Because the highest prison people go through in this world is not the physical, the four walls, or the physical one that people are being caught and put inside. No. A lot of us that are strolling around, driving in fancy cars, we are going through a lot of hidden prisons. Prison of identity, prison of purpose, prison of faith, and a lot of things that people are going through silently that they cannot alter. So we wrote this chapter for you to break through those mental prisons and start living the reality. Now, another very important chapter that I decided to include in this one is astrology and numerology. You know, astrology is the study of celestial bodies and how they influence our lives here on earth, while numerology is the study of numbers, how numbers are related to our daily lives. Is it our date of birth? Is it the number of letters on our names? Is it the particular day in which we are? Is it the particular day in which we were born? Those things are under numerology and astrology, and I think they are very very important aspects of our life. We are not studying it out of some people say it's superstition, but it is not superstition. We study it to discover our true self and align with it, because at a certain point you might be fighting who you were actually meant to be without knowing, because you have not studied some patterns of life. So astrology and numerology comes to break down those patterns in order for you to understand who you really are. There are some threats in you that at a certain point you feel like, no, this cannot be me, but yes, it is you. It is you. So what do you do about those threats? Are you supposed to harness them for your benefit? How can you counteract them? Because at a certain point there are some threats that you are normally supposed to get rid of, but there are processes. There are processes that you can go about that if you are not taught, if you have not read a book like this one under the chapter astrology and numerology, you might not know zodiac signs. A lot of people talk about zodiac signs. What are the importance of zodiac signs? What are the zodiac signs? How did they even come about? Why do people study zodiac signs? It is in here. So grab your copy and get more light on it. Now the next chapter is about marriage. Yeah, it is for you to understand that marriage is not a physical game. Marriage is not something you go because you are escaping maybe poverty somewhere. You think your husband or your wife is going to maybe bring you out of the poverty. It is true that some people get into marriage and then they are brought out of. But it should not be an escape plan for you. Because if you have not risen from within before marriage, marriage will humble you, like seriously. So you should rise from within before, within, and after marriage. When I say after marriage, it's not like when you quit marriage. I mean, within marriage, you should also be rising from within, but that should happen before you get into marriage. So, masculinity and femininity. What is masculinity? Some people are trying to misinterpret this for physical power, for violence. No, that is not what masculinity is. Masculinity is responsibility. It is included here. The next part that we are going that's been elaborated well in this book is comments on why failure matters in success. Because at a certain point, I have watched a lot of interviews and podcasts where successful people said it themselves that they are so successful today because they failed from the beginning. So failure is not the end. Failure is where success really starts, because it's from failure that you learn something that you never knew before. So when you are starting after failure, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You're starting with a certain level of information about what you are going into. So that's why we made a comment. We wrote a chapter on why failure matters in success. Failure should be your driving force. You should not fail at something twice. No, it is because the second time you are trying that particular thing, you're starting with experience. You're starting with a certain level of information that you've gathered from your past experience. Now, after this particular part, there is a comment. There is a comment I made on success. My personal view on what success is. Because the first thing first, all of us are chasing success. Yes, all of us here, as we are on this earth, we want to be successful one day. But you have to define what success really means to you. Let me not be the one to define success to you. What is your definition of success? If you succeed in defining what success really means, then you have succeeded in what you are doing. Because at the end of the day, it is when you have achieved your definition of success that you become successful. Let me not be the one to tell you what success is. What if you don't achieve what I told you is success? It means you will not be happy, because according to me, success equals happiness. So if I am happy right now, it means I am successful. Because a lot of successful people will tell you, well, you don't know what's going through my mind. You don't know what I'm going through maybe during the night or when I'm alone or inside of me. It is because at a certain point they are not happy. Success equals happiness. That is my own definition. Write down your own definition of happiness, of success, so that when you fulfill it, you might be happy. You understand? You might feel that you fulfilled your own purpose of success. So that is actually the word rise from within is comprised of. That is the content inside rise from within. You should order your copy now and start reading, because this book is just at the same level with most of the books that you guys get, the Atomic Habits, the Psychology of Money, the Laws of Human Nature, the 48 Laws of Power. It is at the same standard. Okay, so get this one and start your own journey to self discovery today. So if you liked the video, if you watched up to this moment, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, because we'll be updating you on basic tips on self-development, inner growth, and inner transformation every single day. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that anytime that we drop a video, you'll be the first person to get notice. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share this video to somebody who